We had the waters coming up exceedingly fast. Tuesday afternoon we became aware there was a problem. We had been notified by Floodwatch or by Floodline that there was a problem, but the waters came up very, very fast, and we found that the council were irresponsive at all to any requests for sandbags or to help, because there's a lot of elderly people around. So it was, I think the lack of response was the most concerning thing.
When we arrived here 12 years ago, they cleared out that culvert right the way down to the river every year. Then they didn't do it for a couple of years, so I got on to them. They came up and did it. And for the next 2 years they did it. Then afterwards, they haven't done it now for 5 years. It's just been building up. But of course, the flood doesn't get away, it doesn't go up. It comes up and there's not enough room for it.
Yeah.
And ever since then, we've had worse floods than it was before.
Distressed and somewhat abandoned, because you kind of think that living in the community that we do, that there are resources in place, people in place to help you, and here we were fending for ourselves. And again, a lot of the people around here are elderly, so they can't fend for themselves.
It's happened at least 5 times in the last 10 years, and it's twice in the last 2 years. So it's getting more frequent, and partly because of the building all around, it's getting worse.
It seems to be that it's almost like that's the reaction we get. You know, we'll give you sandbags if we can, but otherwise you've got to deal with it yourself. And of course we don't have the resources to deal with it ourselves. We don't know how to deal with it ourselves. As it transpires, the council don't have the money or the resources to deal with it either.
Got the same problem as usual with Marsh Farm pumping station flooding due to the excess water coming off the river. And it actually floods into the pumping station, stopping the pumps, and it then comes up in our garden. So we end up with sewage in the garden, raw sewage coming out the drain for the sink.
I'd like a response so that when we do have flood waters, we can get sandbags, we can get help with defending our homes. I can get people to come and help me with my elderly neighbours who do get very distressed, some social service support. So that'll be an immediate thing. The second one is this problem obviously is not going to go away, particularly continually building on floodplains. So we need to be a bit more, I want the council to be more proactive and look at doing things to reduce the impact of the flooding.
The council has done absolutely nothing, so can't be satisfied with nothing. It needs to be sorted out, and it's to do with the storm drains coming down, because they get flooded and start pouring down as well as the river coming back up. So it's a pretty impossible situation, and money needs to be put into it to solve it. And there's a lot of people that are getting nearer and nearer to the flood situation in their homes. We always think we've been fortunate that they did raise this house higher than the rest of them. But it means people further up are getting the problems more and more.
So two-pronged attack, one immediate, one more long-term, so that we can be assured that the waters aren't going to keep rising and rising.